Do you know the real impact of on-farm storage has on the value of your harvest? Storage is a key variable in a proper conservation of grain. So here are a few tips to protect the full value of your harvest. Preferably, go for silos with full perforated flooring, enough air outlets, and the appropriate ventilators for the size of the silos. Before the harvest, a complete check of the silos is an absolute must. Subfloors and sides must be clean. Use summer rainfalls to ensure that silos are waterproof, and don't forget to check that the ventilators are operational. Also, check that your hoppers and conveyors function properly and that they are clean all along the path followed by the grain. If using a grain auger, we recommend that an 8-inch auger is used. Keep the auger full and use the slowest rotation speed as possible. When filling the silos, note the moisture level and the presence of any foreign material for each new batch added. That said, you will then have a precise picture of the contents of your silo. You can therefore better manage the contents throughout the year and plan all your deliveries to the grain center accordingly. If your harvest contains too many wheat seeds, a rough cleaning using ROTARY sieve is always a good option. Proper combine adjustments will also help. The small seeds of weeds foster increased moisture level and can affect proper air circulation during ventilation. A grain spreader at the top of the silo ensures a uniform grain mass within the silo. A grain spreader is an excellent piece of equipment to add if not already in place. Don't fill your silos to the gills. Leave some space in order to facilitate sampling and to see the grain level. Once the filling is done, level the mound. If for lack of space this can't be done, we suggest that you take out a few hoppers or truckloads to lower the cone of grain. This is a perfect opportunity to make your first deliveries to Ceresco. If you follow these tips, you are on the right path to successfully storing your grain. All that is left to do is to ensure a proper ventilation for the duration of the storage period. Regularly ventilate for a few hours every 2 to 4 weeks with dry air and under cool temperatures. The relative humidity EMC table is a great tool to ensure optimal ventilation. Check the grain in the silos at least once or twice per month and regularly following heavy rain, snowstorms, or days with blowing snow. Remove any snow as well as wet grain as quickly as possible. Pay attention to the odor in the silo. Check the interior surface of the roof. The presence of frost or water condensation is a clear sign of a ventilation issue. The following are tips to ensure a proper seasonal ventilation. In the fall, ventilate when harvest conditions are at their best. The full mass of grain will therefore be of uniform temperature. Then, progressively lower the grain temperature to reach 5 degrees Celsius without freezing the mass. In winter, ventilate a few times to change the air in the silos. Aim for the least cold days. In spring, regularly ventilate to slowly warm up the grain mass. For the few producers that keep soybeans until summer, ventilate during cooler weather, mostly at night, to limit the rise of grain temperature. Before loading your grain for shipment, we recommend that you check its quality. From the top of the silos, check the grain appearance and any emanating odor. It is better to remove a few kilos of wet or moldy grain rather than mixing them with the full content of the silos, risking to reduce the overall quality of your soybeans. Grain in a silo should be moved at least once every 2 months. We recommend that you plan your deliveries throughout the season. This way, your soybeans will be moved regularly and you will benefit from our storage incentive program. The addition of automated ventilation systems helps monitor what's happening in your silos. The following are key elements to consider. A system that will help to properly manage ventilation must include the following elements. Firstly, the right number of probe cables for the diameter of the silo that jointly measure the grain temperature and moisture levels. Secondly, a station that measures the temperature and relative humidity of the outside air. Lastly, algorithms and full computer interfaces to allow the management of the ventilation cycles, including during winter with its sub-zero temperatures. A system that only monitors the exterior air conditions without measuring the temperature and moisture levels of the grain can lead you to wrong conclusions. Over-drying your grain incurs severe water loss, reduces its weight, and results in needless loss of revenue. The storage of the grain at the farm is quite a challenge. For more information, we recommend you check out a free publication from Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada. Also, remember that experts at Ceresco remain at your complete disposal for questions relating to storage and ventilation throughout the full season.
We hope this Ceresco Academy clip will help you successfully store your harvest. Your expertise combined with ours is key to your success. Your Ceresco advisor is always there to help. Any questions? Contact them without hesitation. Don't forget to follow us on our social networks to make sure you are notified when our next clips are released. Happy storing!